not negotiable.
Probably favor it.
Often disregarded.
It's so much easier to determine what consent is not than what consent is.
It means to me the ability to have a voice.
Knowing that both parties are informed.
Consent means to me a couple different things. First of all, it means non-negotiable. My no means no and my yes means yes. But consent to me is also something that you can change. Even though I said yes now doesn't mean I can't say no later. It's final but also has the ability to change, but it's something that definitely needs to be respected.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta get my consent.
A clear, enthusiastic yes. It is not just the absence of no.
I think that consent is based on systems of power, and in relationships, any kind of relationship, regardless if it's romantic or not, that there are unequal distributions of power, and so sometimes it's hard to determine whether consent was given willingly or not.
Enthusiastic yes, and someone respecting my desire to do or not do something, and just like feeling comfortable whatever I'm doing and making sure that in whatever situation all parties feel comfortable participating in whatever it may be.
To me, consent means a type of respect. It means that you really want to make sure that that person feels comfortable, that you're not taking advantage of them, that you're not making them do anything that they're not okay with, and that's in any context, not even just with sex. But it's a form of respect, and that you're seeing them as a human and taking their dignity into account and making sure that they get to be the owner of their body and they get to make those choices for themselves.
Different social interactions create or determine the terms of that consensual agreement, and in doing so, sometimes it makes impermissible acts permissible.
Sometimes in society people say, well, she didn't say no, or we had done this before. If a person hasn't said yes, then they're not consenting. You could be naked and still not be consenting to sex.
Society views consent as something that's not important, something that even if someone says no to, still exists, as something that is almost imaginary and just not real. Society says that consent is important, but doesn't actually believe that.
I think a lot of times you hear a lot of stories about someone saying like, oh yeah, I mean, she like was kind of resisting, but like I knew she wanted it. Like that type of language. And I think consent is often viewed as like, well, you didn't say no.
I would indicate that I'm giving consent verbally. I think that that's the best way to give consent, because there's no room for interpretation. Yes means yes and no means no. Go means go and stop means stop. When you start getting into nonverbal forms of consent, I think you can get a little fuzzy where the line is. So I think verbal consent, for me at least, is my best option.
Indicating that you are not consenting is doing anything other than saying yes. It's saying absolutely nothing. It's saying no. It's resisting. It's sleeping. It's just doing anything other than saying yes.
I understand we're on the same page. Yes, that is what I want to do.
It needs to be clear, it needs to be stated, and it needs to be said, yes.